Yes, the Flow Friday Night Sports Show continues on, and I tell you what, You ever seen those cartoons where, the woman's cooking a pie and leaves it on the windowsill and the cartoon characters just float towards the pie on the windowsill, Flowman? That's me towards our kitchen at the moment. We've got the pizza pies out there just cooling on the windowsill. Oh, my goodness.
You're on the right wavelength. Tell you what, getting on the right wavelength with cricket, though, we're coming to a close, and I thought this is a good opportune time with our final program in the summer series to get in and have a look at some of the cricket results that have happened across some of our Wimmera and Mallee and also into the Hume areas. And Jason, there's been some great grand finals. We've got one to come, of course, still in the Sunraysia, what's the Redcliffe's competition, and then there's some that we've decided last weekend.
Well, let's start there, actually. We'll go to Redcliffe's A-grade competition, and looking forward to the big game this weekend. Our Tempe Tigers crew.
Yes.
It's been a while since we've seen some scores from them, but we love talking about them anyway. They're taking on Nursery Ridge.
And Benny Mole was out on the training track for the Owen United Kangas. He's coaching the reserves this year. He'll play some senior footy. He looked in good form, and if that is the fitness level he's taking into the grand final of the cricket, look out, because the Benny Mole is ready to strike. And I didn't get an individual conversation. Did actually catch up with a former AFL player, Dallas Willsmore.
Yes.
He's playing for the Owen United Kangas, and with Benny Mole at one end and Dallas Willsmore at the other, they're two good bookends. Let me tell you, two very fit young men.
Got some questions about your trip there. We'll get to them later on. Just wrapping up last week's preliminary final was Nursery Ridge over Oyen. The Rams went down. They could only muster 55 with the bat. They did well with the ball. They bowled them out for 120, Nursery Ridge. But 55 with the bat's probably not going to win you too many preliminary finals, Flowman.
No, not at all. But, gee whiz, it's going to be great when the big final comes to us this weekend.
It will be in the B-grade competition too. We should quickly talk about that because Oyen are through to that. They will take on Nursery Ridge in the B-grade grand final, so good luck to them. Let's head to Wimmera Mallee cricket now, Flowman. The grand final's there, done and dusted. And we might actually start with the B-grade this time round, because if we thought 55 was pretty poor score in a preliminary final, well, how does 46 sound, Flowman? What about if you bat first in a grand final, score 80 and win by 33 runs? That's what happened to the Southern Mallee Giants, Flowman. They were too good.
Yeah, Matt Bellinger too good, actually. 25 with a bat at the top, and then when he got the ball in hand, he went absolutely at them and was in strikingly good form. He took 3 wickets for 10 and then 4 wickets for 8 from Love, and it was, all over Love. It was a magnificent performance by the Southern Mallee Giants, and they take out the B-grade cricket competition in Wimmera cricket.
They did, and everyone loved Adrian. Is that no? That's I went there.
Don't go there.
Never mind. In the A-grade grand final, slightly different scenario, and we will have a look at that in a moment. But got to say, it's been an incredible wrap-up to summer sport, and there was some spoke to Tracy Lawson before we bring up the A-grade scores about some life members in the Oyen Lawn Tennis Club, so congratulations to them. That was in Country Viewpoint today. I'm not going to rehash that, but it's always, I think, important when you get to the end of the year that you honour those people who've got you through the tough times, and so congratulations to all the life members there. The A-grade grand final in Wimmera Mallee cricket, Jeff Cott, they were top of the ladder against St Arnaud, and guess what, Flowman?
St Arnaud got home 5 for 125, and they were able to nail Jeff Cott out for 122, so they chased down the runs. And Brody Haddo, good for Jeff Cott. He's one of the Donald Royal Bluers, absolute beauty. But Abhi Wickrama,
he's a star. I'll help you out there.
Yes.
Abhi Wickrama, he's a star at not just local level but association level as well. He was the big wicket. The fact that they got him for 13 early really set them up, and even though they had a little bit of a partnership in the middle order there, Haddo and Atkins, it wasn't good enough, and they were rolled pretty substantially there at the back end. The tail didn't wag, 122, and then it was Patching who did the job with the ball, and the Patching boys, well, they were stars for them, and this was Jacob Patching top scoring. and getting the job done. He made 45 and got them home 5 for 125. So the Sananu crew are the premiers, Flowman.
They are, and congratulations to them. A terrific performance from them. But what about this in Hume cricket? Got one more for you, everybody, and this is a wrap-up. A couple of weeks ago, we weren't able to get these scores through in last week's program, but we've followed them up. And this one is in the competition of Hume cricket. The B-grade match was a enthralling encounter between the Billabong Crows Oaklands versus the Osborne, those, what we call them?
The canola farmers.
Ostriches.
That's right, the ostriches, but the canola farmers there, yep.
And how about it? Last ball of the game.
Oh.
It's down to the wire, and who wins?
Well, let's start from the beginning, and that was Oakland's batted first, made 8 for 124 from their 35 overs. Top scoring there. There was a lot in the teens, but the top score was Kerr with 20 for them. Best with the ball for the canola farmers. They shared the wickets around too, but I think you'd have to say the opening bowler in Knott was 2 for 28, and Watts bowled 7 overs, 2 for 22. In reply, Osborne, well, they lost wickets at fairly regular intervals. They did look in control. There at one stage, they were 1 for 64 chasing this down, and then they lost, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 wickets with the score at 64. Goodness me. And then another at 69, and then another at 69. So if you do the math on that, that's right, folks, they lost 6 for 5.
It was, and then they lost another at 71, and it was finally the last wicket stand, and it was like the old corral where the last stand happened, and John Wayne had one more bullet to fire, and he fired it right on the last ball. The two boys that were there, they did everything they could. Rutland went for 2, and he couldn't get them, got 1, and they fell agonisingly 1 run short.
That's right, 9 for 123. Fantastic. With the ball, the star, and the man who was the match winner in the end, he turned it on its head, Philip Goldsack. What a spell of bowling from him. He ended up taking, if you don't mind, 5 for 16 from his 7 overs. No doubt man of the match there in the second division, or whatever you want to call it, second grade.
It was, and the winner of the first grade of the Hume competition, which was the other game, it was the A grade that we're talking about now, and it was where Brock Burham come out in the grand final against Henty. Henty batted first, the Turlicks, if you don't mind, the Turlicks, well-known name in that part of the world. They came out and hit 8 for 179, and in reply, Brock Burham...
They were bowled out for 165, so another great game of cricket there. Williams top scored for Brocklesby, Burham, Buttock. We had one of the Kazitsky boys. We've seen one of his cousins, I think, running around for Hawthorn.
Yep.
And we met, Justin Kazitsky had a very...
Saints.
Yep, stellar AFL career, but they fell short in this game by 14 runs. Well done to the Henty crew, who are probably still celebrating, I'd imagine.
Yeah, they will be. They've got to get themselves together, though, because the Henty Field Days are going to be in a few months' time. So those Henty cricketers are going to have to get themselves ready for their big barbecue they cook up at the Field Days, which is a good one, by the way. All the clubs get involved in that, and we're looking forward to covering Hume football this year. But great to look at the Henty cricket, or I should say the Hume cricket there, and see Henty have won the A-grade final.
Well done to them. Of course, we've got some trial games coming up, Flowman. You spoke about these in your morning show. We're moving into the away from the summer sport now into the winter sport, and there'll be a lot of teams trialling this weekend. Yeah,
trialling before Easter, and then after Easter, then there's going to be action. Southern Mallee Giants, they get a hit out against the Sea Lake and Daly Tigers. Both sides are out of the old Mallee Football League, which disbanded after the end of the 2015 season, which was coincidentally the first year that the Southern Mallee Giants actually came together as Beulah-Hopetoun clubs, and that was their only time in the Mallee, that one season. Sea Lake and Daly Tigers, the final season of the Mallee, actually won the premiership and then went to North Central. Southern Mallee Giants actually went into the Horsham district, but after dominating that with the premiership, 2 premierships I think, then moved across into the Wimmera, and so they play each other in a trial match like the good old days of the Mallee.
There you go. So that's coming up. There is actually a match down south too for our listeners in Colac, around there. Their season gets underway. Alvey are playing in that, and they're one of the favourites. So I think it's Alvey and I can't remember the other one, but David McKenzie, our very good man down there, had a rundown of that on Country Viewpoint today, and you can check out the podcast for that up on Flow News 24's Facebook page. Anything else, Flowman? I think that covers it.
Oh, we've done brilliantly well, and of course we've got footy season up after Easter, everybody, so looking forward to covering it across the Hume, also the Wimmera, the Sunraysia Football League, the Horsham District and the North Central, plus we'll be having selector reports too out of the Colac and over into the Riverina in New South Wales and the Farrer Football League.
Oh, gee whiz, that pizza is getting hold of me. Big Brucey is next. We're going to rattle through him so that I can get to Pizza Town. It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.